Hello, Madam Tejira. This is Kenya Calvin, Group 2. We are presenting library management system, and I'm going to talk about a few things about what we used in our tables. First of all, in our database, we have just about seven tables, and we have tables of members. We have a table for author. We have a table for publisher. Yeah, genre, and then book, which was the types of books we have in the library, and also the one of book copies that keeps track of the number of books available in the library. So due to time, let me talk basically about how we created the concept of creating these tables and maybe enforcing a few constraints in them. So we have this we have this SQL command here, and this is the command we use to create our members table. And it has a syntax. We use this create keyword to create. You say create table. To create table, then you specify the member's name, the table's name. I mean table's name. Now within this is the relation. So within this relation or table, we have what we call attributes, and every attribute which is like a column. This is a column that stores a given type of data. For example, in our members table, I'm going to focus mainly on this. We have the member ID table, because this specifies the column. I meant the member ID column, and we are saying is this is of data type int, and we are auto incrementing it, but it's the primary key. And because this is the primary key, by default this cannot have null values, meaning that it can't have null values first and foremost. Secondly, and it cannot be duplicated. You cannot have two members with the same member ID and then the same thing appears for this is the another data type name, and it's a variable character data type. This is the data type variable character, and we are saying that this is not null as well. And the reason as to why we are enforcing the not null constraint is that we don't want to have a table that has missing information. Like for example, a member, we cannot have incomplete details about a member. For a member to be fully registered, we must have his complete details of what we require for our table. And we did the same thing for contacts. Now for contacts, we have unique. Remember that just like member ID, which is unique for every member has a different member ID. The same thing happens to for the contact column. This is because two members can't have the same column. We don't want someone entering the same contact twice for different members. We don't want to have that problem or that inconsistency in our database, and that's why we tagged it unique, meaning once you enter a number or a contact for that particular member, you cannot enter the same contact for another member, because we need to have a way of contacting each member separately in case of anything. And this is not null as well, and the same applies for data for address, start date and end date. So these are the sample queries that we have that we use to create our our tables. So author ID, this is the author table. We have author ID, auto increment, primary key, same things. These are basically the same thing. Then we have this publisher table. This publisher table contains a foreign key. Remember, this is a publisher table, but it's linked to the author table, because for every publisher, he publishes a book written by a given author. So that's why we have a relationship between those two. So we are saying to enforce this constraint of foreign keys, we are going to use this keyword, these keywords, this, and we are saying this is a foreign key, and the foreign key is author ID, and it references author. This is the author table, and it's referencing it at the column of author, and we are saying on delete cascade. The reason that's why we are saying that on delete cascade, this is because When you come to publisher and you delete a publisher who published maybe a given book for a given author, it means you have taken or you have deleted the author also, the author's details as well. So when you come and maybe you delete author ID, I mean publisher ID, for example, 6, it means that all books published by that author, by that publisher, they are rated to a given author, they will also get, even that author's details, they will get deleted. And even the author, it's linked to the book ID, to the book table through, it's linked to the book table as well, which means even the books themselves also get deleted. So basically, the same thing we have here. This is about foreign keys. Then I'm going to talk slightly about insertion of data into these tables. And we are saying to insert data. Remember when you first create the data and then enforce the constraints and also name the attributes in the table. We don't enter information directly there. So we come use this insert into keyword. So we say insert into, then you specify the table for which you want to insert the data. Then these are the attributes. These are like placeholders for where every member's details are going to be put. For example, when you look at this line here that we are entering details of John, we are saying at the position name, enter this string Johnny Doe. And at contact, remember for contact it's also a variable character. We are also going to input this. At that position for address, this is the same thing. Start date. So these are position holders for every member. And then when this happens for every data you're going to input, you have to enclose it in a bracket, in brackets, and specify the positions for where that data is going to be input.
This is Noel Seras Group 2. I want to talk about the enforcement of constraints as used in our library management system. We have different types of constraints, like the not null, the unique, the foreign key, primary key, and the default and check. But here, specifically, I want to talk about the not null, the primary key, the foreign key, those three. And on the not null, that one only ensures that a column does not have null values. And then the primary key identifies the record uniquely, like here on the in this table of book copies, we have the book ID. All the records in the book, in that column of book ID, should be uniquely identified. Then we have the foreign key. The foreign key ensures that a value in one table matches a value in another table. For example, here, still in this table of book copies, the foreign key, this foreign key is ensuring that it is referring the book ID in another table. Okay, referring the two tables having the same record, which is book ID.
I'm Imamut Juliana from Group Q. I'm going to take us through some of the queries we implemented in our project. Now, queries are used to retrieve data from the database. For example, if you want to retrieve all the information that we inserted in the book table, we select all from the book table. When we run this piece of code, It gives us all the information of the attributes that are in the book table. We have the book ID, the title, the author ID, and the genre ID. Now for the subqueries, these are implemented in such a way that there are more than one queries in one. So the inner query is implemented first, which helps us to execute the outer query. Now for this example, we're trying to get the book title, the book ID and the title of the books that have been loaned out. So we select distinct book ID from loan, which is in the inner query. The distinct keyword enables us to remove duplication in the result table. Thereby we are returning only the unique book IDs. And the in keyword enables us to retrieve specific data in the where clause. So after running this, we are getting the book ID from the loan table, and in our output we shall have the book ID and the title of the books that we loaned out. So running this code gives us the book ID and the title of the books that have been loaned out of the library. Then in queries, we also have joins, whereby we are joining two or more tables. Now for this we are carrying out an inner join on the loan table and the members table, and the inner join is on the attributes of member ID from the loan table and the member ID from the members table, where the return date is null. So this is where the books have not been returned. Yes, so we're selecting the name and the contact and address from the members table. Running this piece of code gives us the name of the person who borrowed the book, their contact and address.
Hello, madam. This is Navidia Shadia from Group Q. We are working on a library management system. Like in any database system, data must be kept accurate, clean, and efficient. So there are three or more commands that help us manage data. But me, I'm going to talk about the three. As my colleague has already talked about the create, insert, data. So I'm going to talk about update, delete, and drop. So I'm going to start with update. For update, it modifies the already existing data. So the code snippet for update is update. We are going to, for the example, a member updates their contact. So we are going to update the member's contact. So we update the table where we are going to update from update member. Update member. You say set contact equal to, you put the new number that member has updated to in single quotations. Let's say the member is now using another number. Let's say this one. Then you set it where you identify the exact place where the member that is updating their contact, their exact location. That's why I use where member ID is equal to, let's say 200, because we had already entered data in our database. Yeah, this is the code snippet for update. So then we are going to talk about now the delete, where we remove specific data. For delete, it permanently deletes one or more rows from the table. Yeah, for a scenario that I'm going to give, that its snippet is a damaged book needs to be removed from the system. So if you want to remove a damaged book from our library system, we are going to come and say delete from book, because we are deleting a book. Go down, say where you locate where the book is, where book ID, or the book ID is equal to, let's say 201. Yeah, that is the code snippet for deleting. Then lastly, drop. We're going to talk about drop. And for drop, it completely removes a table or database. Let's say we want to remove one of our tables, and we have a lot of tables here. You can decide to remove one of the tables, because you see from here we created many tables: create table book, create table guinea, create table book copies. So we can decide to remove some tables. Therefore, its code snippet is drop, let's say table. We are going to use table book. We can delete the table for book. Maybe if you want to remove it, that is it. Or if you want to delete the whole database system, you say drop database library management system. That one. Yeah, you terminate. Yeah, this is the code. Thank you, madam.
This is me, I'm Stephen. I'm in Group Q, and I'm going to talk about library management system, that is school library management system specifically, and that was our problem definition. So I'm going to talk about the ERDs. The ERDs, what do I mean by ERDs? The ERD has an entity and attributes. So what do I mean by entities if I talk about an entity? An entity is simply, for example, here it's a loan. The loan is an entity. Members is an entity. Genre is an entity. Book is an entity. Author is an entity. Publisher is an entity. Book copies is an entity. Therefore, we have seven entities. So that's okay. I think we have understood that. Then maybe I can also talk about the attributes in an entity. What do I mean if I say an attribute? I mean, for example, maybe I can use members as an entity. An entity members has attributes: member ID, name, contact, address, start date, and end date. I think now we have understood the difference between the entities and the attributes. Yes, that's okay. We are good to go. Maybe someone can ask, how are they fixing this? It is okay. It is simple. Come and click in this and see how we are doing this. It is simple. You just table name. Table name, of course, it is members. Then after that, you come and create your column. Like you write your attributes. Like for example, here we have member ID, name, contact, address, and others down, of course. If you continue doing this, is it scrolling down? You'll see those other attributes having such, which is okay. Maybe I can try to simplify for you. You may say we have understood here and we have not understood here. It's fine, I can explain it also. So we have the data type. So after writing member ID, you come and say member ID. What's the data type? Is it an integer? Is it a string? What is it? Then after identifying what you want, you come and say, yes, it is an integer. Yes, after saying it is an integer, it is good to go. You go down name. What is it? It's a vulture. You continue like that until you reach down here where the data type, they're telling you it's date. That's okay. That's the start date and the end date. The data type is date. That's good. Maybe I can continue here down. So maybe we're going to continue about the primary keys. What's the primary?